Welcome back. It's time to make our escape.
Going out of the door is out of the question. This fire escape, if only this signboard weren't there to stop me from... The sign... Beyond this signboard, the mounting of the sign to the wall doesn't seem to be in too good condition. At this point...
Yeah, it does not look very good.
We're not...
A gun is never the solution, apparently.
No clue. I don't see... I won't get much... I don't see how...
I don't have any tools.
I don't see how... No. I don't think these would... It's impossible. I don't think the... This fire, if only... No. I'll take this. It's not very sharp.
Might be all you need.
Going out of... No, it doesn't... No clue. I could try to lift it with this... Let's see. I can't think of any... I doubt Marzetti will like this.
I had a feeling that they would do that joke.
Just like a cat, my muscles contract, and my arms work as counterweights as I get ready to jump. Not so young anymore cat, with an alcohol problem and lungs full of tar. Now is not a good time to indulge in self-criticism.
It's time to head out. And I don't think we will be back here.
Where you want? What the?
Your old man deciphered codes, right?
Da.
Can you decipher this notebook?
Del Nero, deciphering skill isn't something you inherit. I never had my old man's passion for codes.
So you don't have any idea about how I could read what's written in this notebook?
I can tell you that most of the codes used to hide information are based on substitution cipher, also known as Caesar cipher. In fact, the emperor of ancient Rome used to code his messages using a cipher based on the shifting of each letter by one or more positions. If you assume that you shift each letter by one, then A would become B. If you find out what exact number is shift...
It's easier than...
Before you say it, I suggest...
Slavansky, this is the first time since I've met you that I have a reason to think you're more than just a stingy landlord.
Del Nero, maybe our relationship would change today, but don't think I won't toss you out on your ear if you don't pay rent.
And don't you think that I'm going to start taking your threats seriously? It's the notebook. I tried to take a peek. I need to figure out how to read it. I'll try to use them.
Maybe there's an easier one. Let's see. No, it's not that one. This does not seem correct in the slightest. Wait. Are those different? Oh, that's a V. Either way, it's incorrect. Alright, let me think about this. How about this, let's see, K, N, E, F, G. Nope. Well, trying to think about this logically. Let's erase some of the ones we've already done. Staten Island, Brooklyn. This is a hunch. I'm ignoring the numbers and the ciphers at this point.
Good. Now that I have
Okay,
figured
now
out
it
how the
works.
code works, nothing can stop me from... Written in this booklet, there are pages and pages of names of people working for Black Lily. Starting from delivery boys and police officers and going all the way up to cardinals and politicians. The more you read, the higher the rank of the mentioned person. I wouldn't be surprised to find God's name at the end of the list. But I don't have to get all the way to the end of the list to find the name that I was looking for, the name that I knew that I was going to
Sean.
find. I just had to get halfway through the booklet
Leroy
to
Malone.
find Leroy Malone's name. Maybe this will be the most idiotic thing that I'll ever do in my life, but nothing will stop me from getting into that department and shoving proof about Marzetti's ties to Black Lily in his face.
That is pretty dumb. I would say that is all-time dumb. He'll just erase you if you do that. However, we're
Hey, you.
tied to the story.
If you're looking for Lieutenant Malone, you're not lucky at all. He left half an hour ago.
Where'd he go?
I don't know, but he left this for you.
Malone has disappeared. The only...
Okay, time to make a call.
Where you...
Hello?
Can you...
What's the number?
555-7589.
Coming up.
Hello?
Malone, is that you?
Del Nero. I'm happy to see you got my message.
Yeah, and I have also found out a couple of interesting things about you.
You don't know nothing, Del Nero.
You're on Marzetti's payroll, I know that. You think it's enough?
So go report me to the head detective. No, wait. Go tell the police chief in person. If you don't know their names, you can find them in that notebook you took from Marzetti.
I see you know about the notebook.
I was informed about it.
Let me guess. You were the one that Marzetti was talking to when he realized that I wasn't just one of the many detectives passing through his joint.
Looks like you listened to the telephone call.
Yeah.
Del Nero, this is too big for you. This isn't some jealous wife who kills her husband or some rich guy knocked off because of a will. Get out of the city. Take the girl with you if you want, but disappear forever.
Thanks for the advice, but I intend to get to the bottom of this.
Why did you do it? It's certainly not to get justice for your old pal McLean.
Could be. After all, he gave his life to protect a kid. I think he deserves it.
I didn't take you for such a sentimental guy.
Everyone has his defects.
Del Nero, if you really want to know what's going on, be at Ellis Island in a half an hour, and I'll tell you everything.
It sounds like a trap.
Who's to say it isn't just a trap?
It is a trap.
No, but I'm sure you'll be there. You're a guy who's more curious than careful.
Ellis Island. Half an hour.
Don't be late.
I mean, you know, that's rarely been... When has it not been a trap? This game started, well, not started, but he got into this situation by being a little bit late to that meeting with McLean.
You know how to get to Ellis Island?
What you want to...
Just answer the question.
Of course I know get to Ellis Island.
Okay. Ellis Island. Any immigrant who came to improve his lot in this country knows this island. This is where they put you the first time you set foot in America. As soon as you get off the boat, a guy with an elegant white lab coat visits you. If you don't have health or mental problems, you're allowed to enter the registration room. There, some kind of inspector asks you all kinds of information about you. Where you were born, how much money you have, and if you have a criminal record. If you answer correctly to all these questions, welcome. Starting today, you're part of the grand old USA too.
Now this is Noir.
Hi, Del Nero.
Malone.
A man was killed at the Melville port tonight by the usual suspects. That's basically what I was supposed to write in the report about the McLean homicide. That's what Black Lily ordered me to do. But something changed their plans. Your friend was able to escape, hide the girl, and call the police. And if that weren't enough, he decided to call you too. He knew that the people who were looking for him wouldn't have had any problems buying the silence of some lieutenant or even of the police chief. So he needed someone he considered to be incorruptible. You.
Sean always thought too much of my honesty.
Even before escorting you to the department, I had instructions to frame you. You had a history with McLean, and that made things easier for me. The point was to keep you here until the men from Black Lily, disguised as forensics, collected everything they needed from the port.
A perfect plan.
Right. But your friend got involved, paying your bail and pointing you to the trail of the real killers of your former colleague. Even if you were out on bail, I never thought you'd make it all the way to Marzetti.
It seems that, as a detective, I'm not a complete washout yet. And it also seems that you are not as honest as the award hanging in the police department affirms with so much pride.
Well, that isn't just a simple award, Del Nero. It's a promissory note on my soul.
Explain that.
I received that award from Mayor Weston for having caught Samuel Cutter, the former boss of Black Lily here in New York.
That's right.
Yes, I know the case. And I'm also smart enough to understand that not everything is as rosy as it seems.
Cutter wasn't well seen, and the organization didn't like it. They knew that with the public opinion against them, getting control over the city wouldn't have been as easy as it had been in the past. So they decided to get Cutter and all the people connected to him arrested. At least, that's what they wanted the people to believe. Actually, the only ones who ended up in the slammer were simple collaborators and a few small-time crooks. In some cases, even regular folks who for some reason had a debt with them.
Patrick Olson.
He was one of the many.
Malone, why are you telling me this story?
Because you are my only chance at redemption, Del Nero, at least in part for everything I've done over the years.
You think that by letting me live, I'll destroy an organization like Black Lily?
No.
Malone, I'm a private detective, not a superhero in a kid's comic book.
I'm not expecting anything from you, Del Nero. But given how the organization is persisting on looking for the girl, I guess she's got to be pretty important to them. And if they can't find her, maybe something might change.
They'll get rid of you as soon as they figure out what you're doing.
If that's how things are supposed to go, let them.
What are you planning to do now?
Nothing. I'll just wait and see what happens. And there's no better place to do that than in front of a huge statue that symbolizes justice.
Whatever you want.
Well, good luck, Del Nero. May destiny smile on
I don't believe in destiny, Malone.
you. I'm sure.
I leave him alone with his thoughts and go away. Maybe his advice to get a change of scene isn't as bad as it seems. Maybe that's what I should do. I should disappear. All of a sudden, a hiss interrupts my thoughts, and then silence again. A silence full of death. Malone crumples over as if he were without a skeleton, a limp body that hits the floor. Then a second hiss. A sharp pain in my neck. I fall on my knees. My muscles aren't responding to me. Anesthetic. My vision starts to get cloudy. I fall into darkness.
Okay. Way too unprotected there. That's what you get. Oh, it's time for another memory hole.
I hate people who are late, and the guy that I'm waiting for should have been here more than an hour ago. I can't stand it. I can't stand any of the reasons why people are late. Whether they didn't plan their time properly, had a problem, or even worse, know that the person who's waiting for them doesn't have a choice. The man that should have been here an hour ago has documents that I need to have if I want to leave this state with the girl. Without those, I would have to stay in this dump for who knows how long. All of a sudden, the joint's door starts to creak. Someone's coming in. A horrible stench of cologne fills me nostrils. It's him. It's Smiley. He sits down at the bar and starts talking like we were old friends. I cut him short and I ask him if he has what I need. He puts the documents on the table, a nautical passport and a permit to let the girl get on board.
He knew too.
He tells me that the passport is missing the photograph and that I'll have to get one myself. Then he takes a napkin and writes a name. Sainte Marie de la Mer. This is the name of the ship that I have to take to leave New York. Getting on a mercantile ship pretending to be a sailor is the only way that I have found to leave the state. And according to what Smiley says, I'll have to get to Brooklyn to do so. I expressly asked to set sail from Newark, but Smiley doesn't seem to have understood. I'm grasped by an incredible desire to punch him in the face, but it's not the time. I give Smiley the money. $50. Too much for false documents, but not that excessive considering that they are the only way to save me life. After taking the money, Smiley sputters something that sounds like good luck, and leaves. Taking with him the stench of his cologne dabbed on in the hope of hiding the chemical stench of the crap he works with all day. Ridiculous. The guy that I almost put in the slammer a few years back for forging documents is now the same guy from whom I'm buying me freedom. Destiny is a strange thing.
So he believes in Destiny. Maybe he plays Destiny. He might. Maybe the PS4 existed in the 1930s.
I bet that if I looked up the word yokel in the dictionary, I'd find a photograph of this guy.
What do you want, stranger?
Is this your place?
Yes, and the rifle I keep in my hands as well.
I see that there's a warm welcome in this house.
My friend, this place sees mostly farmers and truck drivers, and I don't like you, your little friend, and that guy who came in a while ago.
I'm just passing through.
I hope it. City slickers don't do well here.
Is this your place?
Yes, and
I've already...
my friend, I don't...
I'm dumb.
City...
Aha.
Okay.
Alright, so he has to get a photograph.
A metal ashtray. That could be helpful.
Sure, take it. Why not? It's an
I
inventory
don't have
object.
any idea what I could do with it, but I'll take it anyway. No. I hate people who spit.
Let's see.
By looking at the cables, Jefferson Davis, Alexander Stevens, and other guys who a few decades ago wanted America's cessation. Fantastic. A Confederate. I hate Confederates. I'm not going to touch it. Ketchup, everything that you need to... I don't...
There's a kitten in here. There's other noises in case you're
Bottles
wondering.
of... If I want... If I get near it... Open 24 hours a day. I guess that's the only reason to go to a place like this. There are booze signs, but I don't recognize any of the brands. Mars gas station. If it weren't the only gas station open at this hour, I'd definitely have blown right past. House special. Lard with beans. I guess I couldn't
Lard with beans. I don't understand what he's supposed to do here other than get a photograph. He's gonna find
One of the gas pumps is leaking. It's a terrible...
No. Apparently not.
No. What should... It doesn't... It's a terrible... It's a I don't see... It's a terrible...
Alright, let me actually look here. I think that's a lantern of some kind.
An oil... The glass cover is missing. It's better to hook it up to... It's a sort of... There are some wires running under the platform. This... It doesn't work. I don't think it's plugged in. A carn... It's in bad shape. I'll take a few
Sure, why not?
I took the only kernels... It's a ray. Impossible. Before I go back to New York... I don't see...
Okay, I need to find a glass case first, it looks like.
Ketchup, everything that I don't need. Nice. I don't have a spittoon. Bottles of... If I wanted... That panel, if I could get my hands on it, I could turn on that device. It doesn't... It's a terrible... No. No. It... No. It... No. No. It's a terrible... It doesn't make... It's a terrible...
Okay.
It doesn't... It's a terrible... The sign in... I don't need... Oh, I guess... An oil. It's the wick. It's better to hook it up to the... It's a... It doesn't...
There we go. Is that gonna reveal something? Nope.
An oil lamp. The glass cup. No. It fits perfect.
There we are. This is what I'm trying to do. Gunshots.
It doesn't seem...
Really? I'd say it is.
It doesn't make an...
Darn it, I thought I had the right idea.
It doesn't...
Well, maybe I need to create... Maybe I need to do more to create the distraction.
You again?
Is that cornfield back there yours?
Did the Winchester send you?
No one sends me. Who are the Winchesters?
Sons of bitches who bought the farm back there a few months ago.
You don't seem to like them that much.
They're good for nothing. You just have to look at how they keep their farm. The only thing they know how to do is drink and smoke on the porch.
And why should they send someone to ask questions?
Because the other night I shot one of them in the ass. Those bastards, after dusk, they come to the back of my gas pump and they start playing with their guns. They shoot at whatever they see. I warned them that even if one of those bullets touch my pumps, the whole place is gonna blow up, but they didn't listen. So the other night, as soon as I heard them shooting, I went out and I shot one of them in the ass. And that idiot ran away yelling like a little girl.
Good story.
Stranger, this isn't a big city, and the same goes for you.
Just point your gun at me once and I'll show you the difference between your old piece and my revolver.
Huh.
How does this camera out here work?
What do you want to know?
When I'm not talking to yokels,
Huh?
So,
No, I only use...
Bunyan Derby.
Every March the 3rd, a marathon comes by from Los Angeles.
Yep, I know about this. This is a real thing.
Trudge along Route 66 to New York. When they go by, they...
There's a Dollop episode about the Bunyan Derby. You should listen
Okay.
to it at some point. It's as terrible as you think. It's as terrible as you think a race in the 1920s about... going from Los Angeles to New York would be. Alright, so... Come on, work this time.
This idea is...
Yes, finally.
These dry corn kernels will be the... No.
Okay, so I just probably leave it alone.
Damn, Winchester's here. The lesson from the last time clearly wasn't enough. Hey, you! I know you're hiding in the cornfields. I'll show you.
Finally.
Now that the yokel's gone, this...
Oh. Okay, I guess that's how it's supposed to be. Yep, now it's working.
Good. Now that it works... I take the photograph and cut it somehow. Before attaching the documents, I hesitate for a second. From now on, my name is John Fard. Sean McClane doesn't exist anymore. Sean McClane is dead.
How right
then I
you
make
are.
up my mind and I attach the damn photo. I don't have time to get all misty-eyed now. The documents should be fine now. I better get the girl. It's the co-
Okay. Let's see what happens.
It's time to go. The car's headlights slice through the dark desolation of Essex County. I look for some landmarks to make the trip less boring, but I can't find anything. There's just darkness around me, and the car whizzes by in the middle of the road.
Alright. Back we go to the present day.
I'm sorry for the harsh wake-up, Del Nero, but Oscar and good manners never went hand in hand.
I kind of figured that out.
You must understand him. He's been out of the boxing world for too long. When he got diagnosed with the form of mutism, he was competing for the state's heavyweight title. Unfortunately, a rule doesn't allow people with his kind of problems to fight, so he had to continue in illegal joints. The first time I saw him fight, I immediately understood that that shabby ring under the stairs of a butcher shop wasn't the place for him, so I took him with me.
From beating people up to killing them. That's a big career move, I'd say.
Come on, Del Nero. We follow an ideal.
What ideals?
But power is an ideal, Del Nero. Our entire history was shaped by men who did great things in search of power. Do you really think that people like Julius Caesar or Napoleon did what they did for the sake of their people? Man was born to have power, and his entire existence is an expression of this desire. We study to get important jobs. We train to become stronger. All this to have power.
I bet that you spend hours in front of the mirror repeating this little speech.
Del Nero, I just want you to see our reasons, and maybe avoid you ending up like that pathetic excuse for a man, Malone.
Go to hell.
As you wish, Del Nero. I thought you were smarter, but if you don't plan on telling us anything if we use the carrot... Where is the girl?
What girl?
Why are you persisting in protecting a girl that has been entrusted to you by a man who's betrayed you in the past?
I'm a sentimental guy. I can't help it.
Del Nero, do you really want to die like your pal McLean? Del Nero.
Go to hell.
You're making me tired. I'm not going to ask you a second time.
Oh.
What is it? Cat got your tongue? When Oscar's done with you, that won't be a problem anymore.
Edward, knock it off.
This voice. I know this voice. It's Victoria.
Now that the Good Samaritan has arrived, we're all here.
Edward, you're disgusting. When this story is over, you'll answer directly to the bosses.
Of course
for
she's
your
on the
conduct.
payroll, too.
Victoria.
All the police is.
How is it possible that she is mixed up in this story? It's impossible.
This disgusting behavior is the only way to get your little friend to talk. It looks like he's having fun playing the tough guy.
I told you that you wouldn't have gotten anything from him.
So how do you plan to figure out where he hid the girl?
Using a little intelligence and civility.
Are you going to get him to tell you where he hid the girl just by asking pretty please?
We don't need him to tell us.
What do you mean?
If, before you started leaning on him, you'd look in his pockets, you'd have figured out where the girl is.
You know where she is?
On the Lower East Side.
Greta Reed.
Dannazione. Greta's handkerchief. They must have figured out from that where the girl is. Greta's in danger. I have to do something. But I can't even talk. That beast has gone to town on me.
Jack, can you hear me? I'm sorry about everything that's happened. I didn't want to put you in the middle of all this, but I didn't have a choice.
Sure you didn't.
That girl is too important to us. She has to go back to where she came from.
Racist.
Victoria, how could you?
I'm sorry, Jack. I'd like to explain it all to you, but there is no time. As soon as we get out of the city, you and your friend will be freed. But don't try to follow us. I'm sorry things went this way. Goodbye, Jack.
Victoria.
Edward, you and your ape can come with me. We have to load the cars. The plane is waiting for us. Hurry up.
Plane? What plane? Victoria, where are you taking the girl?
Del Nero, it looks like you got lucky this time. Your friend saved you just in time. But the next time we meet, I can't guarantee you'll be so lucky.
Edward!
Don't worry, Good Samaritan. I won't do anything to him.
Hurry up. We don't have time.
It looks like we'll have to go now, Del Nero. Let Oscar say his goodbyes.
Oh, my head. must have passed out for a while. Judging from the light filtering through the windows, it must be at least 6 a.m. Out there, the sun's rising. Some thugs with a love for archaeology are running away with a girl, and I'm stuck here, tied to a chair with a nose that looks like mush. I better figure out how to free myself.
How will he free himself, and who is the girl? You'll just have to find out on the next, possibly last episode of Face Noir. Grab a snack and we'll be right back.